She was my sister, my blood, my only family left. I trusted her with everything I owned, everything I loved. But one morning I opened my safe, and my world ended. She didn't just steal my money, she stole my faith and family. Welcome to Struggling Stories, the home of heartbreak, betrayal, and redemption. Tell us where you're watching from, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because every story you hear here once belonged to someone who never thought it would happen to them. My name is Ethan Miller, and I was born and raised in the south side of Chicago, a city that teaches you two things early in life: how to fight and how to trust no one. But I had one person I always believed in, my little sister, Rachel. After our parents died in a car crash when I was 21 and she was just 15, I became everything to her: brother, guardian, and friend. I worked 2 jobs, dropped college for a while, and did everything to make sure she had a chance at a better life. I joined a government security agency as an analyst, and over the years I built a career. I wasn't rich, but I was disciplined. Every month I invested a little in protected securities, low risk, government-backed investments that couldn't easily vanish like stocks. Slowly, it grew into something real: $800,000 worth of savings locked safely in my private vault. It wasn't just money, it was years of sweat, sacrifice, and sleepless nights. Rachel, meanwhile, was always different. She was smart, maybe smarter than me, but she had this hunger for the fast life. Designer clothes, expensive cars, high society parties. I thought it was just youth, something she'd grow out of. But the older she got, the deeper she fell into that world. When she was 28, she lost her job, her apartment, and came to stay with me for a while. I didn't hesitate. She was my sister. I gave her the guest room, helped her get back on her feet, and told her she could stay until she figured things out. For months, everything seemed fine. We ate dinners together, watched movies, talked late into the night, but slowly things started to change. She became distant. Her phone calls became secretive. Random people would drop her off at odd hours. Once I noticed she was nervous when I came home early. She hid something in her purse. But when I asked, she laughed it off. "Ethan, you're getting paranoid," she said. I wanted to believe her. After all, this was family. Then came the morning that changed everything. It was a Sunday. I remember the sound of church bells outside and the smell of coffee in the kitchen. Rachel wasn't home, which wasn't unusual. But when I went to my study to grab a file from my safe, my hands froze. The safe door was slightly open, not forced, just unlocked. My heart started pounding. I opened it fully and felt my chest collapse. The compartment that held my protected securities, all $800,000 worth, was empty, gone. Every document, every bond, every certificate. At first, I thought it was a mistake. Maybe I'd moved them. But no, I knew exactly where they were. I checked everything. No break-in, no fingerprints. Only one person in the world knew the combination to that safe, besides me. Rachel. I called her again and again. No answer. I texted nothing. By evening, I drove to every place she could be. Her friends' apartments, old job, even a club she once mentioned. No one had seen her. That night, I filed a report with the Chicago Police Department. They said they'd investigate, but I could tell by their faces they thought it was a family dispute. To them, it wasn't theft. It was personal. Days passed, then weeks. Rachel was gone, vanished without a trace. I stopped sleeping, stopped eating. I'd wake up at 3 a.m., staring at that empty safe, wondering what I did wrong. I replayed every moment we had. Her laughter, her trust, her promises. It didn't make sense. Why would she do it? Why would she destroy the only real relationship she had left? One evening, I got a call from a blocked number. I answered, and it was her. Rachel. Her voice was trembling. "Ethan, don't look for me." That was all she said before hanging up. I tried calling back, but the number was dead. My hands shook as I sat there in silence. Don't look for me. Why was she in danger? Or was this her way of saying she didn't care anymore? Over the next few months, I became obsessed. I hired a private investigator. I dug through bank records. Eventually, I discovered that several of my securities had been liquidated through an offshore account under a fake identity linked to someone named R. Miles. The initials were too close to be coincidence. It was her. I wanted to hate her. I wanted to destroy everything she'd done. But deep down, something told me it wasn't that simple. Rachel was reckless, not heartless. If she stole from me, there had to be a reason. 6 months later, I got a letter in the mail. No return address, just my name, written in her handwriting. My hands shook as I opened it. Inside was a single line. "I didn't steal it for me. I stole it to save you." For a moment, the room spun. What did that even mean? Save me. From what? That night, for the first time in months, I wasn't angry. I was terrified, and that was just the beginning. I didn't sleep that night. Her letter replayed in my head again and again. "I didn't steal it for me. I stole it to save you." It made no sense. I wasn't in danger, or at least I didn't think I was. But as the days passed, I started noticing things that didn't fit. A black SUV parked across from my apartment for 2 nights in a row. My phone acting strange, calls dropping, random static noises, mid-conversation. Even my work emails started showing unauthorized login attempts. At first, I thought it was paranoia, grief, turning into obsession. But deep down, I knew Rachel wasn't lying. She'd always been impulsive, yes, but never cruel. If she said she did something to save me, it meant she was in deeper trouble than I could imagine. I went back to the police, showed them her letter, begged them to reopen the case, but they didn't care. To them, it was just a family issue. "She stole your bonds, not your life," one detective said with a smirk. But he was wrong. She had taken both. That night, I drove through Chicago aimlessly, past the glowing skyline, the cold river, the empty bridges. My city looked beautiful, but dead. Every light reminded me of Rachel, of what she'd done, and why she was gone. I ended up near our old neighborhood, near the burned-out diner we used to visit when we were kids. The place was abandoned, but when I parked, I noticed a faint light flickering inside. I stepped out, cautious. The wind cut like knives. I pushed the door open. It creaked like a scream in the dark. Inside, dust covered everything except for one booth near the window. On the table was a burner phone turned on, its screen glowing blue. Before I could touch it, it rang. I answered. "Ethan," a voice said. It was Rachel. Quiet, shaky, scared. "You shouldn't have come. Rachel, where are you? What the hell is going on? Why did you take the money?" "I can't explain everything. They're watching you. The money was never safe. Your name isn't clean anymore." "What do you mean my name isn't clean?" There was a pause, then she whispered, "You work for them, Ethan, the agency, but it's not what you think it is." The line cut. I tried calling back. Nothing. I sat there in silence, the phone still glowing in my hand. Her words echoed. "You work for them, but it's not what you think." When I joined the government's security asset division, I believed we were protecting people's investments safe, legitimate securities insured by the state. But Rachel's words planted a seed of doubt. What if those securities weren't what they seemed? What if the protected investments were being used for something else, something darker? Over the next few days, I began digging quietly. Late nights at the office, encrypted archives, restricted databases. The more I found, the colder my blood ran. Millions of dollars in protected government securities were being rerouted, laundered through shell companies, funneled offshore, funding black operations under civilian cover, and my investments were part of that trail. Rachel must have found out. She must have realized that my name was attached to dirty money, and that if the truth ever surfaced, I'd go down with the people I unknowingly worked for. Suddenly, it all made sense. The stolen money, her disappearance, the fear in her voice. She wasn't saving herself. She was burning the evidence to save me. But if that was true, then someone else out there already knew. Someone who wanted me silenced. A few nights later, my apartment was broken into. Nothing was taken, but everything was touched. Drawers open, papers scattered. A message scrawled across my bathroom mirror in red lipstick. Asterisk, asterisk, stop looking. Asterisk, asterisk. That was when I knew I didn't have much time. I packed a bag, left Chicago, and drove west toward Wisconsin. From there, I called an old friend, Marcus Hale, an ex-cyber agent turned whistleblower. If anyone could find Rachel, it was him. 2 weeks later, he called me. "Ethan," he said, "I found her, or what's left of her trail." My heart sank. "She's alive," he added quickly, "but she's not Rachel anymore. She's under protection. Federal Witness Program." She uncovered something massive. "Your agency's securities division is a front for illegal arms funding." She leaked the data. "They're hunting her and anyone connected to her." The silence that followed was suffocating. "So the money?" I asked. "She used it to buy her way into protection. Fake IDs, safe houses, travel routes. She burned every dollar, making sure your name was cleared from the files. If she hadn't, you'd be in prison or worse." I couldn't speak. For years, I'd cursed her name, drowned in betrayal, haunted by the thought that she destroyed me. But she hadn't. She'd destroyed herself to save me. Marcus gave me a number, a secure line. "She might call you once." No promises. For weeks I waited. Every time my phone buzzed, my heart stopped. Then, one rainy morning in October, it rang. "Unknown number." I answered. "Ethan." It was her. Her voice cracked. "Rachel, you're safe now," she said softly. "They cleared your records. You have your life back." "I don't want my life," I said, tears choking my throat. "I want my sister." There was a long silence on the line. I could hear her breathing, soft, broken. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "This is the last time you'll ever hear my voice. They can't know you're talking to me. Just remember, I never stopped loving you." The call ended, and that was it. No goodbye, no closure, just static and silence. Today, I still live in Chicago. The same apartment, the same city. But nothing feels the same. I keep that empty safe in my study. The one she opened. The one she emptied as a reminder that sometimes the people who break your world apart are the same ones trying to save it whenever I open it. I whisper her name, Rachel, and somewhere out there, maybe in a small town, maybe under a different sky, I hope she hears me, because in the end, blood is not just what we're born with, it's what we sacrifice for.